Recording.
This meeting is being recorded.
Right. In case you had any doubt, this meeting is being recorded.
That is a perfect start to our humorous speech contest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand this contest over to our contest chair, and that is Cristina Barbonio. Cristina, over to you.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the District 73 Humorous Speech Contest, the final contest for this conference. I am Cristina Barbonio, and I shall be the contest chair for this contest. Because this is humorous, I'd like to tell you a short, funny story to warm you up. Back in 1948, General Motors introduced an Australian-built car, the Holden. With minor changes, they kept building the same model until 1956. There were supposed to be about 24 different keys for the model. So if you had a few different keys, the cars were very easy to steal. There was this guy named Kevin Sutherland. Kevin bought one in the mid-1950s, and it was stolen a few months later. The village had only about 1,100 people, so police didn't have much time to search and didn't find it. Some weeks later, Mr. Sutherland went to the Queensland capital, Brisbane. That was about 750 miles away by the road. While walking down the main street of the city, he saw his car parked almost in front of his hotel. He rushed to his room, took his house keys ring, which still had the car keys on it, and drove the car to the nearest police station to report he had recovered it. The newspaper he had bought the day it was stolen was still in the bag. The end. Thank you very much, everyone. And that's a quick, short, funny story for you guys. I hope you like that one. All right. So humorous speech are designed to capture the audience to make you smile and laugh. There are 8 contestants competing in the contest today, and the speaking order is in the chat room. If you haven't got it, copy it again, and the contestants requested that we include the speech title. The speaking area for this contest is defined by the field of view on the screen. Additionally, all contestants must remain within 2 meters from their fixed camera at all times to be classed as within their speaking area. We ask that you remain muted and keep your videos off for the duration of the contest to prevent any unnecessary distractions to the contestants or disruptions to the recordings. The contest is being recorded by our representatives, Zoom Master Graham. It is not permitted for anyone outside these representatives to photograph or record any aspect of this contest while it is in progress. Please note that there will be 1 minute of silence between contestants for the judges to mark their scoring sheets. After the last contestant has spoken, there will be silence until all contest officials have left the room. The chief judge for this contest is none other than Sue Pederick. Judges, timers, and counters have been briefed. Chief Judge Sue, are we ready to proceed?
Double check everyone's got their cameras off, and then I'm good to go. Thank you.
All right. Zoom Master, can you please double check?
Yes, I'll do that.
We'll just wait until our Zoom Master check everything is right.
I might need to turn the Chief Judge's video off, but apart from that, I think we're good.
We're good to go. All right. Thank you, Zoom Master Graham.
Okay.
All right. Let the contest begin. Is contestant number 1, Ansuman Roy. Are you ready? Is Ansuman Roy ready?
Yep.
Can you see this timer?
Yes, I can see the timer.
Thank you. Can you do the audio check by giving us your one-line joke?
Why did the ant cry? because it couldn't wear a pant.
Thank you. Please join me in welcoming Ansuman Roy. There's always a next time. There's always a next time, Ansuman Roy.
I had a dream of driving my dad's car, putting my head out of the window and driving that car like the deluxe dog. At 14, my dad thought otherwise. He would never let me touch that car. But that dream still remained. And I felt sad. And my grandma used to say, there is always next time. You'll grow up, have your car, there's always next time. Now that dream didn't get fulfilled in a couple of years, but fast forward 14 years, my wife rekindled that dream. Hey, we are moving to Australia. Why don't you start taking driving lessons and rekindle that dream? Oh, well, how hard can it be? I enrolled into driving lessons, did my lessons, and there was in the written test, a paper-based exam. The paper was in a different language. It was looking strange. I went on to my examiner. Sir, this paper is in local language. The test has started, you have to give it. The test paper at that time looked like earthworms having constipation. I couldn't understand anything at all. I failed. There's always a next time. Fast forward, finds me a couple of years later in Brisbane, pushing the heavy stroller. My stroller was full of groceries. My wife was behind me. We are pushing uphill, and she was carrying a heavy baby. One word came out from her mouth. With heavy breath, she told, idiot. Told you you should learn a car. That night, I felt petrified. This is it. I have to get a car. Went into car sales, found a really great sale, ordered it online, and I didn't tell anything about it to my wife. The deal was the car was available on sale and the delivery was free. Who doesn't love a free delivery? Couple of days, the car arrived, a black, shiny sedan. And my wife was shocked looking at the shiny sedan. Now, who is going to drive it, you idiot? We don't have driver's license. I said, oh, how hard can it be in Australia? Everybody obeys the rules. Reminds me in Bangalore, where I'm from. Do you know why Bangalore is famous for? It is the 8th wonder of the world. Now you tell me, oh, I have heard 7. The 7th wonder is the Taj Mahal. No, sir. Madam, the 8th wonder of the world is Bangalore because of traffic. To reach from one destination to the next, you have to start yesterday. The traffic is like war zone. You can't cross the road. You really have to literally run for your life. And for the traffic, people drive in footpaths. Now imagine the pedestrians. And it made 0 sense to own a car over there because you'd get stuck in traffic. But fast forward into Brisbane, how hard can it be? I Googled how to guaranteed pass your driving test in 5 lessons. I paid that upfront, 5 lessons, and did all my 5 lessons. I'm feeling supremely confident. Now I got my instructor behind me, and he told, take right at the roundabout. As I entered the roundabout, I was confused. Which is right? I took two 360-degree turns, and he failed me. There's always a next time. The second time I failed, drove over the curb. Now, the third time is quite interesting. By this time, I've become a seasonal failure. I kept failing, and I'm paying the government the money. This time, my instructor told, there's a red light coming up. Decide to stop or go. The traffic light was there. It was orange. I was confused. It was red and it zipped past. And there was a pedestrian crossing, and there were zipped past imaginary pedestrians. And of course, I failed and got a ticket. There's always a next time. That night, I felt like I should be awarded the Australian of the Year just by not driving on the roads. I can save so many lives. I felt so proud of not driving that car. Well, there's always a next time. Couple of lessons, 75 lessons of torturous driving over and over and over again. This time, I walked into the test again, and by this time, my inspector had become my friend. After we had a coffee, we went on to the test, and after we finished, I thought, now what he'll tell? He didn't tell anything, and he handed me that paper, and ooh, you have passed. I did 2 moonwalks and 1 Shakira on the inside. And I went home and took that car, which was in the garage for 5 months, took that sucker out into the roads of Brisbane, hang my head out just to relive my dream. So my friends, what is my message here? If people tell you that this is your last chance, this is your last chance, there's no hope. I'm going to tell you from my lessons, there's always a next time. Contest chair.
We shall now observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Timer, please indicate the end of this minute with a green light. Thank you, timer Ethan. Is Bharat Sangekar ready?
Yep.
Bharat, can you see the timer?
I can.
Thank you. Can you do the audio check by giving us your one-line joke?
How does a tree access the internet? It logs in.
Nice one. Please join me in welcoming Bharat Sangekar with the offensive F word. The offensive F word, Bharat Sangekar.
Friends, I'm not scared of the F word. Except when I ask my wife on a Friday night if I can leave the kids with her and go out with my friends drinking, and she uses the F word. Fine. That can be scary. But it's that other F word that I'm absolutely traumatized with. But my wife does not show any concern that I'm traumatized. Oh no, I'm still not talking about the swear word. I'm here to create awareness about a virus that affects many, but creates no shock value as COVID. You know it, Starts with F, flu. And yes, women catch the flu too. But when innocent, strong, and sometimes even good-looking men like me catch it, even if it's just a cold, it creates the deadly man flu, man flu, man flu. It's supposed to cause more pain than childbirth. But when we are impacted, does anyone call an ambulance? No. Winter is coming, ladies. Every year as it gets wet, miserable, and cold, thousands of men in communities, in your workplaces, in your homes suffer and die from man flu neglect. This is their story. I'm a recent survivor of man flu myself. This is my story. I was just a regular Joe going about my regular life, taking orders from the boss and the wife. One day, 3 years ago, I just could not get out of bed. Sore throat, sore bones, high temperature of 37.1 degree, African drummers pounding my head. And I knew I was under attack right that moment when I sneezed with such intensity. 5 minutes later, they reported New Zealand had an earthquake. But my wife didn't hear me. She was blow drying her hair. Probably too noisy to hear. So I screamed, "Honey, call an ambulance." She immediately turned around and said, "It's just a cold." And then 4 more unsympathetic hot words blew in my face. Get ready for work. She isn't the only one, though. For centuries, every time the man in the house has been down, the woman has rolled her eyes. There we go again, man flu. But here's what a recent study from the Stanford University School of Medicine has found, that species with high level of testosterone, such as men, have evolved with a weak immune system. You know what that means? It means for centuries, men that took risks, hunted for you, killed for you, battled for you, grew muscles and body hair for you, ladies, grew beards, somewhere in between also found the time to reproduce, are now left with battle scars in form of a weak immune system. Look around you. In this audience, there are at least 50 veterans of war. With an exterior suit of body muscles and a thick pile of body hair, a man's body might seem like a fortress. But quite simply, that immunity is only on the outside. And when attacked by these monstrous nasal viruses, we are but defenseless victims. My wife found this out the hard way. That day when I went to work, my boss, a man himself, looked at me and knew it straight away. Took me to the emergency. There were all sorts of emergencies in the hospital that day. Heart attacks, broken bones, even a woman in labor. But one look at me and the head nurse, a man himself, rushed me in, called the head doctor, and the head doctor, a man himself, immediately ordered for 3 things: hot soup, remote control to watch the TV, and 6 female nurses to take turns to visit me and say sympathetically, "Oh, you poor thing." By the time my wife got to the hospital, panicked. What happened? The head doctor had lost it. What happened? Do you realize that a couple more hours and we could have lost this man? This isn't some kind of a swine flu or bird flu, lady. This is a deadly flu which only matches the gravity of bubonic plague or AIDS. This is man flu. This man is going to need all your attention now. Hot soups on demands and no housework. That's right. Hot soups on demands, a woman's undivided attention, and no housework are the only reliable cure for man flu. My wife has witnessed it. Every time she has asked me to stack the dishwasher, the flu just flares up. The reality is, it's been 3 years and I still haven't recovered 100%. I can't sleep for more than 10 hours a night. It has put a strain on my marriage. And in my pocket, give me a second. In my pocket, I still carry tissues. I know some of you are moved by the sheer bravery it took for me to come out and speak about this disease. Some of you might think I'm nothing less than a hero. But I don't want your praise. I don't want your applause. I just want your money. You see, there's work to be done to create awareness. There's a campaign to be run to ensure that every man flu victim gets all the attention from his mother, his sister, his wife, and his sister-in-law, all together if needed. Ladies, let no the innocent, good-looking men die in silence. Bro, let's save a bro. You have 1 minute silence coming up. Dig deep in your pockets, pull out your phone, go to your banking app, find your pay ID, add my number to it, 0400076860. Send me the money. Let me hear the sound of notifications of your money transfer on my phone. And let that sound help me bring awareness to the offensive F word in man flu. But if you would rather use that money to go out drinking with your Friday nights, I have no choice but to leave it with the other offensive F word. Fine. Contest chair.
We shall now observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots.
The 1 minute is up.
Thank you, Ethan. Is Anton Tolic ready?
Yes.
I still can't see you at the front.
Can you hear me?
Now I can see you. Thank you,
Yep.
Anton. Anton, can you see the timer?
Yes. Yep.
Can you do the audio check by giving us your one-line joke?
Yep. I used to think I was indecisive, but now I'm not so sure.
All right, please join me in welcoming Anton Tolic. Vegetables have feelings. Vegetables have feelings. Anton Tolic.
Picture a carrot, exactly like this one I have now, plucked from its field in all its glory, dirt and debris washed away, and pesticides cleaned off. Taken to a supermarket, placed in a trolley, whisked away to a nice home, and placed on a plate. And then you, monsters, eat it! A poor, defenseless carrot, slaughtered by your teeth. Disgusting. Chopped, sliced, diced, and shredded. I have been campaigning for these carrots and vegetables alike, campaigning for their rights for years. Countless efforts and time spent fighting tirelessly because, fellow Toastmasters and guests, these vegetables have rights. They have rights. And they have feelings, just like you and me. They feel pain, anguish, sadness, happiness, and most of all, love. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights was proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly in Paris on the 10th of December, 1948. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today to usher in a new era of rights, not for humans, not for animals, but for vegetables. Living, breathing organisms that have existed millions of years before we even stepped foot on this earth. I won't beat around the bush. This is a 21st century atrocity, and I am here to spark change. I have rewritten the entire Declaration of Human Rights, but for vegetables. And today, we will examine just a few articles of the new and improved Universal Declaration of Vegetable Rights. And you hopefully, will be convinced that these rights apply to vegetables and that they have feelings and rights. Because currently, no one cares enough. To begin with, we have Article 4. No vegetable shall be held in servitude or slavery. Slavery and the slave trade shall be prohibited in all their forms. Modern day slavery still exists. Oh, yes, it does. And it makes me sick. From my head to my toes. This article epitomizes the value of freedom, so that no vegetable shall be held in captivity against their will. And yet we see it every day in our supermarkets. Vegetables kept on shelves, held in trolleys, and worst of all, suffocated by plastic bags and wrapping. I pity the poor fool in these factories processing these vegetables. It is a wonder they can sleep with themselves at night. Wheat are we doing? Standing by while factories churn out smoke, smog, and vegetable organ scraps. And until this clear violation of rights ceases, I will continue to campaign for vegetable rights. Article 15. Every vegetable has the right to an identity and a nationality. Let me ask you, if I named this carrot Ronald and said it was from Italy, would you treat it any differently? Honestly, would you feel bad if you took him away from his family? Forget he's a carrot. Think of him as a person. Give him a salary, a house, clothes, a wife and kids. Ronald the carrot shouldn't be treated any differently just because the color of his skin. Kale me crazy, but we give animals names and talk about their personality and cultures. So why shouldn't an Italian carrot be any different? He has the right to an identity, to surround himself with people, to come from a place of origin, to surround himself with leek. I don't expect you to understand straight away, but over time, you will all come to realize this modern day barbarity. And I tell you, there is not much room for prejudice these days. Our identity is so important to us as human beings that we fight to keep it. And vegetables should be no different. In summary, ladies and gentlemen, vegetables are so important to this earth. They have been here millennia before us and are an integral part of society. And yet are thrown at the wayside, trodden and trampled over, never given any peace and quiet. Let us come together to fight for these rights, just as we have done so in the past for other oppressed peoples. I put it to each and every one of you to think about and act on the lack of rights behind these vegetable beans. So, next time you're in your supermarket and you pick up one of these kindred souls, give them the rights they deserve. Because if we can show each other kindness, compassion, and respect, I ask you, why shouldn't they be treated the same way? Contest chair.
We shall now observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Thank you, Ethan. Is Annie Martin ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Thank you.
Annie, can you see the timer?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. Can you do the audio check by giving us your one-line joke?
Yes, definitely. Two fish were in a tank and one said to the other, "How do you drive this thing?"
Well done. Please join me in welcoming Annie Martin with In the Box, Annie Martin.
One day, sadly, fellow Toastmasters, we are all going to end up in the box on our big day of reckoning. And at our funeral, there are that many decisions that need to be made that if we don't make them, somebody else is going to have to. For example, what are you going to be wearing? Now, take your mother in Scotland, she's got her own ideas. Oh, me bonny lad, he's died. Never mind. I'd like him to be buried in his kilt. You don't want to be buried in your kilt. You're a 65-year-old gentleman. You used to wear that in the high country. But then again, your wife Elizabeth, on the other hand. Oh, my husband was such a refined, distinguished gentleman. Do you know that his degree was conferred from Oxford University? So I would like him to be buried in his academic gown. You don't want to be buried in your academic gown and not your kilt. It wouldn't leave much space in the box anyway, would it? You need something a bit more spelt, don't you? When Elizabeth has been out, you have been online, haven't you? Ordering certain undergarments. And you've got a favourite pair of little boxes. They're nice and shiny and silky. They've got pink hibiscus flowers on an aqua background. So take my advice. Take those boxes, pop them in a little shoebox, and you're getting ready for the day you're in the big box. But there are more decisions than that too. For example, what music would you like played at your funeral? Now, once again, if you don't decide, someone else will decide for you. Oh, me bonny lad, he used to love the Bay City Rollers. I'd like the song Bye Bye Baby. Bye Bye Baby. And your wife Elizabeth. Oh, my husband, did I tell you, he was very refined. Every Sunday afternoon, we would listen to classic FM's Roger Whittaker. I would like the song The Last Farewell. You don't want The Last Farewell. and you do not want the Bay City Rollers. I think you know the song that you'd like. When Elizabeth has been out of the house and you've been getting out those little undergarments you've been ordering online, you've been getting into some disco vibes, haven't you? I think you know full well the song you'd like. That's the one. So this is the advice. Pop that song on a USB, put it in your little shoebox, and you're well and truly getting ready for the day you are in that big box. Also have a think about the photograph that you would like to adorn your coffin. Once again, if you don't think about it, someone else will. Oh, me bonny lad. You know, when he was 3, I knitted him a woolen onesie. I like that photograph. A woolen onesie? And Elizabeth. Well, once my husband retired, we went to ballroom dancing competitions, and one year we placed 8th. And Beryl took a photograph, and it was in the Plumstead Gazette. I like that photograph. Ballroom dancing with Elizabeth? You don't want a woolen onesie. You know the photograph you'd like. Your mate Colin took it, didn't he? You told Elizabeth you were off to Paris for an academic conference. Somehow you found your way into the front row of the Moulin Rouge, suitably attired. And one of the Les girls pulled you out of the front row to join in Les high leg kicks. And Colin went, that's the photograph you want on your coffin. So pop that in the little shoebox. Come on, get ready for the big day. But fellow Toastmasters, what are we thinking of? The eulogy, the speech. We are Toastmasters. We've got to do it ourselves. So here's my advice. Get out that video camera and have a think about what you'd like to wear to deliver your own eulogy. You know you must dress to impress. So I think you know what you'd like to wear, don't you? You could be au naturel on top, but underneath, I think you know what you'd like to wear. Yeah. So now I'll help you with your speech. Your speech will need an opening. It will need a body. Well, we know about the body. And it will need a conclusion. Well, some would say the conclusion's a bit foregone. But the opening of your speech. To all of those I've loved, and Elizabeth, and my mate Colin, I want to punch you out. You've been blackmailing me for years over the Moulin Rouge photograph. Well, it's on my coffin now, so your blackmailing days are over. Move along to the body of your speech. Elizabeth, we've been married 42 years now. Some would say my life sentence is over, and I know I wasn't always your best husband. I don't think you ever really knew me very well at all, but there are many women here, wailing the most loudly now, who did say I was their best man. Move along to the conclusion. To conclude, I now speak to you all from the box. I now know something you don't, and I'm not telling. You have to find out for yourselves. Not too soon, I hope. Except for you, Colin, I hope you're next. Move along to conclude the ceremony. To conclude my ceremony, can I please ask you all to be upstanding in the wake of my wake, as together we all join together in high leg kicks to pull one out of the box. Contest chair.
We shall now observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Thank you, Ethan. Is Paul Hollander ready?
Yes. Yes, I am.
There you go. Now I can see you. Thank you, Paul.
Good.
Paul, can you see the timer?
No, let's have a look. Nope. Let's
Should
have
be
a
at the top of your screen.
Yep. I'm looking now. Now I see myself. I see I see the timer, yourself, Zoom Master, and myself. Is that
Perfect.
correct?
Yes, perfect. Thank you, Paul. Can you do the audio check by giving us your one-line joke?
One-line joke. Always borrow money from a pessimist. They never expect it back.
Please join me in welcoming Paul Hollander with Tick Tock, Tick Tock, with Tick Tock, Tick Tock, Paul Hollander.
Tock, tick, tock. Oh, good morning. I had a weird dream last night. We all have weird dreams from time to time, now don't we? Well, within this dream, I had a stigma. I had a psychiatric condition, a Peter Pan syndrome, meaning I always want to stay young and beautiful and never die. There's nothing wrong with that now, is there? How many of you out there would like to stay young and beautiful and never die? Come on now, don't be shy. Well, I've got news for you. You're deluding yourselves, it won't happen. It will only happen in your brain and in your heart. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Contest chair went to see the psychiatrist. Paul, I would like you to try some revolutionary therapy. I would like you to live each day as if it's the last day of your wretched life. All right, Doc, don't have to be like that. Went straight home to the fridge, grabbed myself a beer, put on some loud rock music, AC/DC, thunderstruck, thunder, thunder. I was standing in the middle of the railway track. And then the squawking wife came in. Here, what you doing? Listening to loud music, drinking beer. The doctor said for me to live each day as if it's the last day of my wonderful life. You crazy fool. He meant for you to be mindful, purposeful in your life. All right then, stop nagging. Tick, tock, tick, tock. The following month, the psychiatrist said to me, Paul, you have advanced. I would like you to try some even more revolutionary therapy. I'd like you to live each moment as if it's the last moment of your life. All right, Doc, I will give it a go. That night, in bed, hands behind me head, eyes closed, thinking to myself, live each minute as if it's the last minute of my beautiful life. Before I knew it, the squawking wife kicked me in the ankle. Here, look, it's 6:30. It's time to get up. What? 6:30? I only just closed my eyes. Don't believe it. How many of you out there experienced going to bed? Close your eyes. Before you know it, you have to get up for work. The illusion of time is not fair, is it? No, it's not fair. All night long, you have been snoring and farting. I did not hear a thing. It wasn't me. Tick, tock. Caught up with my best mate, Frank. He's a Frank type of geezer. He talked straight to me. Paul, how many years would you really like to live? Oh, right then, if you insist, 100 years of good health, good well-being. Do you realise 33 1/3 of those years you will be unconscious asleep? What? 33 years of snoring and passing wind. My wife had divorced me. She deserves a medal. I have a secret. I've got time machines, 69 time machines, clocks with big faces on. They've got hands and they've got a pendulum that goes tick-tock, just like a heart. They are fantastic. They go on the hour, on the half hour. They go ding dong, cuckoo, cuckoo. They all personify me in all chronological order, 69 clocks, and I can visit them anytime I want to. 15, 20, 25. They never grow old. They are wonderful, my clocks, they really are. But my wife only loves me 2 clocks at any one time. It's not fair, is it? But when she goes shopping, I start each of my time machines up. There is this beautiful cacophony of orchestrated sound. I'm in my glory. There's the ticking and the talking and the dinging and the donging. The dogs go whoo, whoo, whoo. The cats go meow. I am the maestro of my own time. Wonderful. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing wrong with admitting you have a mental illness. And there's no time like the present moment in time. How is your mental health and well-being? Grasp that minute, grasp that hour, and grasp your day. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow's the future. But today is your gift. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Oh, good morning, contest chair.
Thank you, Paul. We shall now observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Thank you, Ethan. Is Thomas Moore ready?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can perfectly hear you.
Awesome. Did you
Can
know
you
that
see
the
the-
past, the present, and the future all walked into a bar? Got very tense.
Thank you, Tom. Can you clearly see the timer?
I can. And can I just confirm that you can hear this noise?
Yes, we can hear it. You've already done your one-line joke. Thank you.
Yes, I have.
Please join me in welcoming Thomas Moore, a tale of 50 or so toasties, a tale of 50 or so toasties, Thomas Moore.
Gather round, Joel, for I have a tale to tell. It's a tale about a fellow Toastmaster, Adel Hills and myself, and how we got into trouble one morning. By the way, it also involves a few cameos from some of our beloved along the way. But be warned, this tale is not for the faint-hearted. Oh no, it's one of those Western legends, if you know what I mean. See, it all started one day when Hills and I decided to make our way down to Bayside and hang out on the swings and just have a bit of a chat. As we sat there, we watched a man who just started wandering on by. This man looked like he'd been doing it rough, as he was covered in head to toe with sand. He had sand on his shirt, sand on his pants. He was even wearing a sand belt that he looked like he got on sale down at your local city centre. Now, this belt wasn't doing a whole lot because he had a bit of northern exposure, if you get what I'm saying. Anyway, he wasn't too happy with us looking at him because he walked up to Hills and I and he said, "Oi, what are you looking at?" Hills said, "I beg your pardon, Panther?" "You heard me. What are you looking at? Tell me, or else I'll wick your butt until next week." I said to Hills, "Mate, maybe we should go. Maybe we should do something and get out of here." More, I've been in worse situations than this before. It was at this point the man walked behind Hills and Kingston hit him. He knocks Hills right off the swing, giving him a bit of swing burn. Now, Hills doesn't normally get too annoyed, but I could tell he was because he got up and he said, "Fuck you." He turned to me and he said, "Tom, ring Woods." "Woods? Who's Woods?" "You know, Frank the Tank." "Ah." So I got on the blower and I said, "Siri, call Woods."
Calling Frank the Tank mobile.
All of a sudden, a voice who I hadn't heard in a long time answered. "Morning, Tom." "Who is this?" "It's Barker from primary school." "Oh, Barks, gee, long time no speak." "Hey, mate, look, we don't have time though to speak. Can you put Frank on the phone for me?" "Sorry, Tom, Frank's stoned." By the way, Frank does this a fair bit. "Look, can you put his brother on the phone? Put Chad on the phone for us." "Sorry, Tom, Chad's stoned too." "Look, mate, we need all of your help. Can you get in the car and burn down here now?" "No worries, Tom. I can burn down there right now for you." As I hung up the phone, I looked back and I saw Hills, who had the man in an arm lock. And he said, "Tom, hit him for me." Now, I'm a lover, not a fighter, but he insisted, "Hit him for me." So I got my fist and I swung it. And it was right on line to hit the guy. But at the last second, Hills and I lost a bit of synergy as the man got out, ducked away, and you'll never guess what happened. I boxed Hills. That's right, I boxed Hills Central to his Glen Iris. Now, as Hills slowly came to, I could hear music pumping out of Woods' car from his aero speakers. And as he pulled up into Flinders Lane, I could see them all wearing balaclavas. And as they got out of their car, I guess I could tell that they all thought that they were here to save the day, it was as if they'd just ridden in on their white horse. You see, at that point in time, the man left us and he ran over to fight the guys. It wasn't long before he started to mount Barker. I couldn't help him out though, because I looked at poor Adel laid there on the ground. You see, his eye was a bright indigo colour and he was still seeing northern stars. I tried to help Adel up with his foot scraping along the ground, and all I could say to him was, "Sorry, Hills." It's at this point that we looked back and we saw the guy who was still punching on with our mates. But out of nowhere, a seagull came and hit him in the head. That's right, the man literally wore a gull. And it was this time where he then decided to run off to the hills. I turned to Adel and I said, "Hey mate, what do you want to do? Do you want to chase after him?" And Adel said, "Tom, you know what? I'd rather just find somewhere with a happy hour because I could go a couple of Carltons or a few spirits of Devonport, if you know what I mean." It was at this point that Frank the Tank, who'd been on the Hoochie Gooch, said, "Hey, I know a place. It's at the end of the Eastern. Sure, it's packed to the rafters, but the food's gourmet. Well, I haven't owed into food like it since. By the way, try the waffles. They melt in your mouth like you wouldn't believe." So I turned to Hills and I said, "Well, mate, if you don't want to do anything right now, why don't we return tomorrow so that I can at least get a photo of this guy and smear his name all over Facebook?" Adel turned to me and he said, "Hey, Tom, how about I play devil's advocate for a second? Two wrongers don't make a right." Now, spiritually speaking, this is what makes Hills such a champion. You see, when he was given the option to smear this guy's name, he skipped slander as an option altogether. And that's what makes Hills the toast of the country club. Contest chair.
Thank you, Thomas. We shall now observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Thank you, Ethan. Is Jason Tabrett ready? Jason Tabrett, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
I can see you now. Can you see the timer?
Yes.
Can you do your audio check by giving us your one-line joke?
Light travels faster than sound, which is the reason some people appear bright before you hear them speak. I'm ready to speak.
Thank you. Please join me in welcoming Jason Tabrett with "How Do I Look?" with "How Do I Look?" Jason Tabrett.
Silence! No smiling. What are you still doing smiling? Crying is no good either, said the photographer. I need you to have a blank facial expression, head straight, shoulders back, both ears in view, eyes looking into the camera, no breathing. It causes movement. Have you ever had your passport photo taken at the post office? There is a lot of hard work that goes into their masterpieces of melancholy art. Globally represented, exclusive artworks worth $300 or thousands on the black market, which you're only entitled to be the owner of for 10 years before it gets torn up. I look at my photo as it comes out of a printer. It's yet another masterpiece. I look truly miserable to be there. Unsmiling and magnificent. Every customs agent will have the worst day after they see this photo. I pay the man his money as he attaches my photo to the passport renewal and I leave. While I walk away, the line is unmoving while the man reorganizes his desk. Customer service isn't the first priority at the post office. My mind is in a spin, still trying to recover after all I've just been through. It's only 10 a.m. How am I going to turn the rest of my day around? I'm going to have to keep revisiting this memory for 10 years. Every time I look at my passport, excited for travel, I'll be reminded by the aggressive and demanding dictator approach used to get me to be that miserable for his piece of art. My friends will laugh at my photo when they see it, and it is a funny photo, but they can't relate to the torment that accompanies me in my mind. Hello, fellow Toastmasters, judges, and anyone else in the wrong place at the wrong time who has had to endure the story of my life's worst experience. I want to do all I can to make sure this never happens to me again. Will you help me? I have 10 years to practice on denying myself from laughter and to keep a straight face. That's a lot of practice time. With your help, I can do it. From now on, I'm not going to smile. And I want everyone here to wave their hands at me if they catch me smiling so I can learn. Can I count on your support? Good, good. The next day, I went for a walk in the morning for a coffee and for some exercise before work. And things were a bit strange. Everyone seemed to be a lot less friendly today. The usual people I walked past glared at me rudely instead of saying hello. The shopping centre security seemed to have the mission of going out of their way to teach me how to wear my face mask right. It turns out that covering your nose and mouth wasn't enough. It has to be the perfect angle. That just reminds me of a photographer again. I didn't need this. My coffees even cost me more money. They suddenly discovered they hadn't been charging me for the caramel syrup I've been having. The COVID tax has been enforced even earlier than I expected. When I get back home, even my girlfriend is seeming less affectionate. I mean, where's the hot breakfast? The next week was even worse. Jason, why haven't you finished that work task yet? Because that's my colleague's job. Just have it done by the end of the day. That wasn't my boss's usual way of asking for help and showing gratitude. By the end of the week, I hadn't received any thanks, and my boss also had a serious conversation about my attitude to him. He must have misunderstood my racially insightful joke earlier. That night at home, I decided to reflect on what I was doing. I started out denying myself from laughter and keeping a straight face because of the bad experience another person had imposed on me. I won't be put in that situation again for 10 years, but here I am, living every day unhappy and straining all of my relationships. Did I make a mistake? Maybe I should just choose to be happy instead. I don't care what anyone else thinks about me if it impacts my happiness. That photo was pretty funny anyway. It's really terrible. Thanks for the waves. I started smiling again. I went for my coffee walks and I pleasantly wished others good morning. Good morning to you. I had chats with the shopping centre security, now unconcerned about the perfection of my mask positioning. The best kind of coffee is the one with flavoured syrup instead of sugar. And my coffees even became cheaper again. Work was back to being fun and friendly, and it wasn't long before my boss was congratulating me on my business partnering and influencing skills. Well, what can I say? I'm great at what I do. Be grateful for who you genuinely are, and the world will appreciate you for it. I also recommend considering to apply for your next passport online by bringing your own photo. Thanks for your waves of support and for listening. Back to you, contest chair.
Thank you, Jason. We shall now observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots.
4 in the morning. Hang on a second.
Thank you, Ethan. Is Charles Halloran ready?
Hopefully the technology is working for me.
It is working indeed. Thank you. Can you see the timer?
I can.
Can you do the audio check by giving us your one-line joke?
What do you call people who look after chickens? Chicken tenderers. And you know they're paid chicken feed.
Thank you, Charles. Please join me in welcoming Charles Halloran with The Joys of Getting Older. The Joys of Getting Older, Charles Halloran.
I had a birthday recently. Not a particularly significant birthday, but one nevertheless. And as I peered into the mirror first thing in the morning, I said to my reflection, "Happy birthday, young fella." You know what my reflection did? It winked. What? I had a closer look and saw the grey hairs and the wrinkles and came to realise, young fella, maybe that was a decade or two or three or more ago. You see, in my youth, I was prime manliness. Now, I look around the audience today, my fellow Toastmasters, contest chair, visitors and guests, and I see the audience is predominantly young folk, under 40. There's a couple over 40, only one or two perhaps. So I have a word of warning to all your young folk about the joys of getting older. Now, I said a moment ago, in my youth, I was a prime example of manlyhood. I could have been David's Michelangelo, or Michelangelo's David, I should say. You see, the memory gets confused sometimes, and I forget which it is. There are days where I feel I'm that old that I could have been the David for Michelangelo. I feel the weather moving in my bones. Some of you might know that one. But there I was, muscles bulging, skin tight and firm, not a skerrick of fat on me. But the joys of getting older means that those once bulging biceps are bat wings, perhaps, and that's magnificent six-pack. Yeah, there's better ones down the bottle shop nowadays. The flowing locks of dark hair, well, they went silver highlighted and they got thinner. Yeah, lucky to have any. But the joys of getting older means that I don't have to go to the hairdresser so often. Once every 2 months, it's great. But the joys of getting older means the hair on my ears grows twice as fast, and I've still got to go once a month. The joys of getting older means the hair in my nose grows even faster still. And the joys of getting older means I need these to see those. The joys of getting older means I put my glasses down and I can't remember where I left them. So a favourite saying in our house is, you should have gone to Specsavers and got a second pair for free. Fortunately, the joys of getting older means I can't hear that. And their other favourite saying is, have you heard of Amplifon? The joys of getting older, well, here's the next one. The memory starts to go and you forget where you're up to. Oh, that's right. Now, you young folk, when you go to the dentist, it maybe costs you $200 to throw you for your 6 monthly checkup. Me, well, let's put it this way. I'm paying for his overseas holiday every year. Well, too bad, sunshine. Last 2 years, COVID means you ain't gone nowhere. The joys of getting older means that those old war injuries come back and you can't quite remember where they came from. Is it the shoulder from the cricket, or was it the shoulder from the falling off the horse, or was that from the tackle? And then those other aches and pains come through and you struggle to remember where they came from. Is it the knee reconstructions, the broken toes, the ankle injuries? I struggle to remember these days. So I've got to put them all into a song just so I get to remember. And look, it's a song that you young folk are probably very familiar with. So please join in. So how's it go? That's right. Right, you ready? Start to top. Head, the ailments of the joys of getting older. Head, shoulders, knees, back, and toes. Toes. Head, shoulders, knees, back, toes. Oh, who knows? Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, back, hips, knees and toes. And after all that exercise, I think I need a Bex and a good lay down. The joys of getting older. Contest chair.
Thank you, Charles. We shall now observe silence until the Zoom master has placed all the judges and contest officials into their respective breakout room. Zoom master Graham, please let me know when this has been done.
I will.
Thank you.
Okay, they're all in the room.
All done. Well done. Thank you, Zoom Master Graham. Everyone, can I request everyone to please turn on your video and audio so we can congratulate all our contestants. Zoom Master Graham, are you ready to display the participation of the certificate of participation?
Yes, give me 30 seconds.
No worries. Shall we count 30 seconds? Just kidding.
Ah, there we go. Quicker than 30 seconds.
Thank you, Graham.
Here we go.
All right. As this certificate of participation, Thomas Moore. Please make some more noise. Unmute yourselves, guys. Thank you. Ansuman Roy. Well done, Ansuman. Next up, Anton Tolic. Bharat Sangekar. Charles Halloran. Paul Hollander. Jason Tabrett. Annie Martin. Well done. Thank you, Graham. Thank you. Zoom Master Graham, can I request that you spotlight the first four contestants, Ansuman, Bharat, Anton, and Annie, please?
Oh, who were they again?
No pressure, Graham.
Ansuman.
Ansuman.
Yep. Bharat.
Bharat.
Yep. Never met that guy.
Yeah, me too. No, never.
Who were the other two?
Anton.
Anton. Yeah.
And Annie.
And Annie.
So slow, Graham. So slow.
I know. Some professional.
Come on, Graham has been working for 2 days straight. 3 days straight. All right, guys. Whew. You guys can breathe now. All done. Congratulations for a really good speech. Now, can you tell me which club and the division that you are representing for this contest? Let's start with number one, Ansuman.
I'm from Talking Point Ducklands.
Yeah.
Southern Division.
Which division?
Southern.
Southern Division. Bharat?
The Happy Hour Toastmasters Inner City, which is not going to exist from this year.
Oh, no. All right, let's just keep it positive. Anton?
I'm from Southern Cross Toastmasters in South Australia, down Adelaide. So
Adelaide.
down the
All
south
right,
way,
thank
yeah.
you. Yeah, thank you, Anton. Annie?
I'm in 3 clubs, but I am representing Tock today, Toast to the Country Club, which is Area 36 in the Rangers division.
The Rangers division. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So how did you come up with your humorous speech? You know, where'd you get this inspiration behind the speech? Anyone can start. So where did you get this the inspiration behind your speech for today?
Well, mine is a true story. I had flu, and my wife did not really consider it was to be a serious illness.
No, I heard man flu is quite serious. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really struggled for almost 2 weeks. It's been 3 years. I'm still struggling. So it was just a true story I had to tell. It was more of a counseling for me than a speech contest, really.
Oh, well, I wish you recovered eventually with your man flu.
We'll get there.
Ansuman, how about you? Did you get
Yeah,
how's
it's
that driving lesson? How's your driving nowadays?
it's good. In fact, I went to the temple today morning and I asked my wife to drive. So that tells us how is my driving. But I think I've become a seasoned driver. So now I get honked many times. But I know I've failed so many times. So yeah, I'm a good driver. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what they say, keep trying, man. Keep trying. All right. Anton, how about you, Anton?
I kind of just looked around for just some speech ideas, and I just thought it would be a general topic to do. So it wasn't
Yeah.
too specific, and I mean everyone knows vegetables, so I just thought it'd be something funny to do. So yeah.
Yeah, I found that you have a very soft spot with vegetables, especially carrots. So do you like carrots? Do you actually eat them or you don't eat them?
No, I'll eat pretty much any vegetable. It's healthy, so you got to keep fit and healthy. So I'm pretty much happy to have any vegetables. So yeah.
All right. I notice a very strong connection with carrots there. Good. Lots of puns. Well done. Annie, how about you? Where did you come up with where did you get the inspiration for your speech?
Well, it began as a serious speech, but then after just looking at it for a little while, I thought actually I could get that same message across in a funny way, and people might laugh as well. So yeah, it began as a serious one.
Yeah.
Not for long.
And I did notice you have all these different persona and you're using different voices. Quite amazing. So how'd you come up with all these different persona and actually convey? I love the way you use the voices in your speech. Like there's a Nana, and then what's the other one?
Yeah, well, I have an obsession with Scottish accents. I'm not very good, but I'm trying to get better. So you have to have a Scottish grammar in there, don't you?
Now, well, really good, guys. Congratulations. Thank you very much. And I shall now interview the next batch.
Thank you.
So, Master.
Thank you, Contest Chair.
Can you please spotlight?
Yep, I've got it.
Paul?
It's okay. Charles, Jason, Paul, and Thomas.
Oh, wow. You're on top of
Yeah.
everything, Graham. Thank you very much.
I mean, after that stinging commentary, you know.
Oh, no. You're doing really well, Graham. Oh, we have a special guest. Hello, dear.
Jason.
There's Jason Tabrett.
To yourself.
Paul.
Here we go. There we go.
Nice. Well, congratulations, guys, for your humorous speech today. Now, could you please tell me which club and division you are representing today? Let's start with number 5.
That's me. I'm from
that's you, Paul.
Epping. That's
Which
right.
one?
Epping
Yep.
Toastmasters Eastern 17. And yep, that's us.
Oh,
It's the
woohoo.
heart of
Shout out to your club. Thomas,
Yes.
which club and division?
I'm from Frankston Toastmasters, Bass Division. And the sheep unfortunately didn't last too long. Sorry, Graham, but yeah, it's very comfortable.
Oh, yes. That looks really good. And very warm, Thomas. Number 7, Jason Tabrett. Which club and division you are representing?
I'm from CPA Toastmasters in Melbourne City, and I don't remember the name of the division.
All right, just shout out to your clubs. Charles.
Hi, Justina. I'm from Wangaratta. I was really looking for Thomas to see how you're going to wangle that one into the competition. And I'm from Northern Division, and this is my support crew.
Hello. Yes, hello there. What's her name?
Amelia.
Hi, Amelia. Good afternoon, Amelia. All right, guys. So, where did you come up the inspiration with behind your speeches? Well, with this speech, where did you come up the inspiration? Anyone can start. Charles.
Because we're playing heads, shoulders, knees, and toes. And my wife said to me one day, she said, "You're talking about your ailments, are you?" And that was enough.
Oh, yeah, wonderful inspiration. So did she watch, Amelia, did you watch Charles' speech?
Yes.
No, you
Yes.
didn't.
I was
You
going
really
to
had to
ask her if she liked it or not. So, or have she seen your speech to do that speech?
Because it's all been online and late at night, no.
No, yes. No, it's fair enough. Yes. How about you, Jason? Where did you get the inspiration behind your speech today?
I'm not sure why I got it recently, but many years ago I saw at a post office a young child trying to be taken a photo of at a post office, and they were tormenting that child. So I was thinking, I wonder what that's going to do to the rest of his life, and it just kind of came into my mind again when I was thinking of speeches.
Yeah. You know what? Passport photo and driving license photo. Oddly enough, I never look on those photos. I don't know what were they, because they take a photo and they don't give you any warning. They just, there you go, and done. And they don't ask you if you like your photo or not. So yeah, oddly enough. So yeah, very relatable, Jason. Very relatable. Paul, how about you, Paul? Where'd you get this inspiration? I actually like the mental health and well-being thing. Yeah, I'm very much
Yes.
into that space.
I wrote that speech around about the 2017, and I just added to it. I do collect clocks, actually, many clocks, and my wife doesn't allow me to have them all on at once. I don't know why. And my background is, I've been a psychiatric nurse, specialized in forensics, and it's amazing the number of people that's suffering different syndromes. And so a combination of that and with my clocks, and the wonderful thing about clocks is I've got one that's a 1948, and it looks as good as it was born, so to speak. And then I sort of put that together with illusion and delusion of time. And we all experience that, do we not? We certainly do.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, that can connect with people. And some people do have issues in that area, a syndrome, and there's a Peter Pan syndrome, and it does exist. Of course, we would probably all like to live in the world of Peter Pan, I dare say. Stay young and never die. Why not?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I got it from, and it just flowed, and I just added to it, and it really developed itself. Really, that's how it happened, and I enjoy doing it actually.
Yeah, it does look like you had a lot of fun doing it, and well done for doing a very serious topic, when mental health and well-being, and in a humorous way. Well done. I really like your take into that, into that topic, because normally not everyone is willing to discuss mental health and well-being like that. So well done, Paul.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thomas, how about you?
Hey, yeah, so I saw one with a similar kind of structure about Western Australian cities 5 years ago, and I thought that maybe there's just a little bit of fun in there with Toastmasters clubs. So I figured the audience is Toastmasters, so I may as well try and include some people and, yeah, hopefully get people excited about possibly seeing their face up on the screen. And Wangaratta was too hard, I'm sorry.
I think you offended some of the clubs that did not, made it to the list.
Yeah.
I was happy to see my photo there under the old Geelong Club. But yeah, well done. That's really interesting. I'm beginning to start to kind of think, really 50? And then you have the number on the left, and then it's like, I wonder if he's actually going to make it to 50 plus. Well done, Thomas. Well done. Well done. Very good.
you.
All right. Graham, are we ready? Are they back? Chief Judge and the judges?
Not quite, no. The chief judge and the tally counters are still in the room. So
All right.
it won't be too long, I would guess.
No worries. All right, let's open the floor to everyone else. Does anyone have any comments about the contest? You know, did you guys enjoy the contest? What do you think? Or you could just tell us, how's your day so far? Anyone, before I start calling people?
Hey, great contest. Congratulations to everybody. They're all fabulous. So well done, and a great final for District 73. Well done, everybody.
Totally agreed. Thank you, Marlene. Anyone else who's got a comment or a story? Bharat already changed his costume.
I was before Nyla.
You're always before me, Daryl.
All right, ladies first then. Nola.
Go ahead, young lady.
No, oh, God love you. I would just like to say what a variety we had today of humour. And I sometimes think that our humour in Australia gives an opportunity for our humorous speakers to talk on any subject at all, more so than perhaps if they live in other countries. I've never lived in another country, but that's just the feeling that I have. I think we Aussies laugh at ourselves and laugh at everything else, and I thoroughly was entertained today. So thank you, everybody. Wonderful.
But I'll tell you what, Nola, I'm not going driving with Ansuman.
Oh, no, that was a little bit too scary, wasn't it, Marlene?
Well done. Good speech.
Yes. No, I'm pretty sure Ansuman has already, learned his driving.
You use Uber, please, and then we're all safe then.
All right. I believe, Meryl, you want to say something?
I find it the most difficult speech ever to try and do, because it's there's so many different types of humour and, a widespread audience. I thought all the speeches were well done and the way they crafted them. But yeah, I would hate to judge that contest today, personally.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, I always thought an extraordinary job. The whole
Yes, Anthony. Would you like to
I
say
always
something?
thought humorous is one of the most difficult things, but the hardest bit
Oh no.
about it is trying to set the whole audience. If we've got 500 people in the audience, everybody's going to be different. So it's very difficult to try and find that humour that everybody can enjoy. And somebody mentioned a few minutes ago about Australian humour. Being a Zoom meeting, surely we could log on from other places in the world and they'd be thinking, what's going on here? What are these people talking about?
That is why I particularly chosen an Australian funny story. Because I have to make sure it has to be Australian, otherwise I can be talking about jokes from the Philippines and you are guys like, what is she talking about? All right. Oh, I can see Ronald. Ronald, how about you? How are you, mate? Ronald Crafter.
I'm very good, very good. And no, it was great to hear the speeches. But I think that the one thing with speeches and humorous competition and doing it on Zoom, I think is amazing that people can do it looking at a black screen, basically, and how they create that humour in a black screen. I find really, really amazing. So it was well done.
It's a different challenge, isn't it? It's a different skill set to be able to deliver a humorous speech and to make people laugh that you don't see. So definitely agree with that. Zoom Master Graham, do we have the result yet?
We do not.
We do not.
Contest Chair Christina.
All right, no worries. Okay, I'll keep pushing. I'll keep calling people then. Sorry, guys. All right. Daryl Clark, do you have something? What do you think about the contest?
Absolutely. I mean, everybody's already said, I think the humorous contest is one of the hardest to write for, because just finding a topic, let alone then extending that for 5 to 7 minutes, is hard enough. And the comment earlier about the range of different ways we saw humor today, I think this is the most, differencing contest we've seen for a while. There's generally been themes in the past, but this one was just different across the board. And I congratulate each one, because, again, previous comment, delivering online a humorous speech is especially difficult. Then to have it so different, just congratulations to each of you. Well done.
Yes, yeah. Well done, everyone. All right, I'm running out of things to say, Graham. How's things at the background?
Well, gosh, don't blame me. Come on, you're in the hot seat there.
No one's blaming you. No one's blaming
Just treat it like a giant table topic.
That's what I'm doing.
I can tell you I have received the results. However,
yes.
the chief judge is not back yet. So we are even closer to announcing the results, but still not quite there yet.
Oh, all right. Now, okay, I think I just thought of something to do. All right, Namrita, incoming district director. What do you think? What do you think with the contest?
I think it has been just amazing to see how fluidly things have been going with the entire conference. And we are in day 2 at the end of it almost. So I cannot be any more happier. And you know what? I could see you actually you were gonna pick me. I could absolutely see that. I could see it incoming.
Yeah, well done. You know what, Namrita? For some reason, that photo next to you, that photo of him next to you, just creeping me out.
It's especially for the humorous contest over there.
And there you go. We have the actual hit there in the screen. Hit. How are you? What do you think of the contest? Did you enjoy our contest?
Yes, it was fantastic. Fantastic to watch and just see and laugh. That's the big thing we're doing here in this contest. And yeah, I just love them all. They all have that different aspect of being some a bit more and had props, some a bit more funny. That way, some are more the experiences. So I did enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, it's very varied, isn't it? So there's the driving lessons, there's the vegetables, soft spot with the vegetables, and there's this box. I didn't know that it's about funeral, and then with lots of puns, and then there's the man flu. So yeah, so it's very varied. I can see the Chief Judge Sue is here.
Yes, the chief judge has just returned.
All right. I haven't received any message, Chief Judge.
Text message, phone text.
Phone text?
It's a text message. If I can find my phone.
Yeah, find your phone.
On my phone. You know what? My phone is always missing in my house. So yeah. All right. I got just checking. Chief Judge, do we have a time disqualification?
No disqualifications.
Well, thank you, Chief Judge. I can see Zoom Mastergram has now the certificate ready. Let me just, okay. All right, ready guys? Unmute yourself, make sure you make some noise, cheer our winners. In 3rd place, please congratulate Annie Martin.
Well done, Annie. Well done.
Well done, Annie. In 2nd place, please congratulate Thomas Moore. Dun, 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 dun. And finally, Ooh, the suspense. In first place, let us congratulate Bharat Sangekar.
Thank you.
Congratulations to all our winners. Our
sorry,
Zoom master. Yes? All right, our Zoom master Graham will now spotlight our place getters, our chief judge and myself, and somebody can please take a photo. So much pressure with the Zoom master, isn't it?
While we are waiting for the Zoom master to do his job, can I just remind everyone that I am still expecting your money? I'll type in the number in the chat box for the PID.
Well, unfortunately, no, mine was in Bitcoin, but it's been crashed, so I don't have anything at the present moment.
It's okay, mate. You're spared.
All right. Who's taking the photo?
Oh, well done, guys.
Well, I can take the photo. I mean,
all right.
Like I'm only being Zoom master as well. I mean, God, you guys. Oh, I mean, sure. Let's go with it. Okay, folks. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, that wasn't right.
Come on.
3. Ah! Technology.
I've taken one.
Right, got it. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, I got it that time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Zoom master Graham.
Thank you, judges. Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations. Well done, Bharat. Well done, Annie.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
Well done, guys.
Good job, winners.
All right. Thank you to our Zoom master Graham, our timers, counters, judges, and Chief Judge Sue, and to all the organizers behind the contest. You know, it's a lot of organization happening at the back. Oh, someone share something.
I'd just like to share all of the contest winners.
Ah, yes, yes.
There you go.
All right, thank you, Sue. That concludes our District 73 Humorous Speech Contest. I will now hand you over to our contest coordinator, Heath Killam, for some closing remarks. Heath?
Thank you, Christina. And yes, it has been such a fantastic first contest and the whole conference. I hope you've enjoyed it. Got a lot out of it. It's been a long couple of days. I'm sure you. Of course, we've got one more thing before we finish off the conference. We've got the handing over the baton section where we will induct the new district trio and district leadership team. Candidate either come along to that, and then we'll finally wrap up the conference after that. Thank you all for coming on. Thanks for getting so engaged and helping out with all these different events. And I hope you've just taken a few notes, learned a few things, and in this contest in particular, had a bit of fun. So thank you. We'll finish up there. I'll see you in a minute.